So today we're going to discuss the car market in the world, so especially the UK. And the reason is the US has put up 100% tariffs on Chinese EVs. The European Union, the EU, has put up 35%. And the only country that hasn't is the UK. Why? Because the UK is a mental. They really believe in free trade. And what that has that caused? The UK industry has been decimated. There's nothing left. There's no industry in the UK. The US being pretending it's free trade, but it's just a protectionist racket, probably the most protectionist country in the world, but spouts we care about free trade. The UK actually swallows this rubbish and has had everything decimated. So now its tiny little car industry that it does have left is going to also be decimated by the Chinese. UK woke as anything, they deserve to get destroyed. Anyway, is this. The Chinese currently have the best EV offerings, the cheapest, top quality, and they're going full into the UK. The government is a mental woke, psycho, net zero freaks, and they want to push this. And so they're allowing the tax-free discounts, they're allowing the no extra taxes on paper mile to influence people to take up EVs because they're woke freaks. So they've said, we don't care about our own tiny industry, car industry. We're going to abandon that and we're going to let the Chinese come in and undercut everyone and provide a better product, which is what's going to happen. Now we're dealing with BYD Seal, which is an exact copy of the Tesla 3. We're dealing with Xpeng, a very luxury EV models. We're dealing with Chery, and most importantly, MG. MG was a British brand that got bought out by the Chinese SIAC. And now most British people think it's still British, right? And they already came in with ICE models and hybrids, and now they're going to come in with the EVs, and they've got a very good offering, and they're going to take it over. Now, how do I know this? I can see the Israeli car market. The Israeli car market was way behind the UK. Up till 2020, there really were no EVs. And even now, there really is no public infrastructure for EVs in Israel. It's really home charging. That's basically all you got. So EVs were very behind. 2020, Tesla came in, obviously took over the whole EV market. But now, 5 years later, it's 90% Chinese EVs. Everywhere is Chinese EVs. In fact, the leasing adverts show BYD Seals being advertised to lease more expensive than Tesla 3s. That's how penetrated they have. Because they're better cars, the Israelis have realized, well, I'd rather pay for a better product than a worse product. And that's what's happening. They're being charged more for the Chinese EVs than the Tesla, and they're going for the more expensive. Why? Because they get the longer range, they get all the mod cons all for free. Tesla, everything is an add-on. And so that's why they're selling more. And we can see that also, as I said, Israel used to be behind the UK. Now the UK in EV uptake is way behind Israel. UK at the end of 2024, 18% EV. In Israel, it's 23%. And that's because of the Chinese EVs offering their cheaper, better quality models. And it's literally everywhere. You see them everywhere because, again, they're just better. And that's what's going to happen in the UK. Obviously, the UK doesn't really have a car industry. Again, all got taken over by foreigners. So really, it doesn't really care if the Chinese swamp it and offer their people cheaper models, just like the global South and Asia and all that don't care either. And that's why Chinese are taking over all those industries. The only countries that are putting up the tariff barriers are countries with domestic car manufacturers, so the US, EU, and Japan. And they will be left with their home markets essentially, and no one else buying their cars because the Chinese will take it over. And just to point this out, if you'd have told me 10 years ago, 2015, the Chinese cars would be penetrating markets in the West, I would tell you, in a billion years, no way. They sell tat, they sell cheap clothes, they make little things. No way. Cars, no chance. And look what they've done in 10 years. Look where they are, right? In China, at the moment, 2024, 40% of cars sold were EVs. In 2025, they're looking at 50%. They're so far ahead of every other country. And all tech, by the way, I don't think it's just in EVs, in phones, in the way you pay there, everything is WeChat Pay, or Tencent or all the other pay models on your phone. Your loans are on your phone. Your banking is on your phone. You take everything on your phone. Everything is done technologically. Their Uber, I forgot what their version of Uber is. But again, literally wiped the entire taxi market. Everything there is way advanced. The cloud infrastructure, online shopping is way, way ahead of the West. So please don't look at China as a backward country. It is way ahead of the West in all these technology, and that's why the West is putting up these trade barriers. And that's why the UK will be conquered by these Chinese EVs very, very soon. Better product, much cheaper. Bye-bye legacy junk.